Hey guys, Ron here. So I've just been asked about this symbol here in TOS. So you can see that it's kind of like a bit of a squiggly line. I know it's a bit hard to see, but people are curious, what is this thing for? How do you use it, right? So let's quickly demonstrate that. Now, if you were in a situation that you said, I wonder what a 10 delta 20 point wide put credit spread would look like compared through to a 20 delta 20 point wide put credit spread, right? So let's check that out. So I'm going to look for my 10 delta, it's here. I'm going to sell this guy and buy that guy, all right, 20 point. And let's just kind of make the numbers a bit bigger to make it easier to see. So that's my 10 delta, and then for my 20 delta, I'm going to look for 20 around here, and let's choose this one. I'm going to sell that guy and buy that guy, right? So both of these are 20 point spreads. Let's also make this 10. All right, so there's my trades. Now I'll look at my risk profile, and that's both of those trades combined, but what you're trying to do is you're looking to compare the two, right? So you're looking at this one, this is the 10 delta, and you look at that graph and you go, okay, nice. And then you flip over through to the other guy and say, fine, that looks cool. But what you really want to know is exactly how do the T+0 lines compare, or how do the expiration graphs compare? And you want them overlaid on the same risk graph. Okay, that's one thing that most people think that's not possible with TOS, but it actually is. And that's, as a matter of fact, is exactly what this icon does, right? But it's kind of a feature that's a bit hidden away. So let's have a look. Now, the first thing to do is if I were to select a trade, you can see that my purple line here is my T+0, and my cyan line here is the expiration graph, which in this case is roughly about 30 days away. Now, to activate this icon here, what you've got to do is you need to go here, and where it says lines to one expiration line, we need to change this over through to single. Okay, so I click on that, click on single, and you can see what's actually showing here is just the T+0 with no expiration line, which is fine, right? Now, if I want to, I could uncheck this one, check the other one, and that's a T+0 of the other trade, right? This is the 20 delta instead of the 10 delta. Now, if I click both, then this is the T+0 of both of these trades combined together. That's not what you want. You want to compare the two, not put on both trades at the same time, right? So let's look at that. So now if you'll see that what's happened once we switch to single, that this icon has lit up, right? So we can click on this thing now. So if I click on this thing now, you can see here that now the purple line here is basically just on 0. So you can basically ignore it. But the cyan line now represents the T+0 of this 10 delta put credit spread, right? But what's cool is that I can now click on the other guy at the same time and get this, right? So now this orange line is the T+0 of my 20 delta, but I can visually compare the two on the same chart, which is really useful, right? So especially when you're looking to do an adjustment for a particular trade, it's nice in TOS to be able to do this, right? And you can compare both the T+0 and or the expiration line of multiple of these adjustments that you're considering to see how it would affect your overall trade. So I said that you can do both the T+0 or the expiration line. As a matter of fact, you can do anything in between, right? But let me show you how to do the expiration line, and you'll click as through to how to do all of them. Oh, by the way, another thing you can do is you can basically select both of these, which means you are overlaying both of the trades, and also do this, and now you'll see 3 lines. So what this represents is the cyan line is the 10 delta put credit spread T+0, the orange line is the 20 delta put credit spread T+0, and the purple line now is actually the T+0 of both of these trades combined together, right? Laid on top of one another. So it's up to you if you want to do that. But again, if you're comparing individual adjustments so that you're only going to end up doing one of them, then you are not going to check them, but you are going to use this column here so you can compare the T+0 of each individual adjustment. Okay? All right, so let's undo that. And then let's have a look at how can we look at the expiration line. So if I go back again and I switch this back through to one expiration, so what if you wanted to not compare the T+0, you wanted to compare this line, right? The expiration line of that trade to the expiration line of this trade overlaid, not combine. If I combine them, it thinks you want to put both at the same time. We don't want that. We want to compare one to the other, and we're only going to do one, right? So we switch back through to single. Again, this is only showing you the t+0. So how can we get to the expiration line? Well, we simply fast forward to it, right? So over here where it says date, this will be the current date. So you can see here that my expiration is 31 of October. So I'm going to click on this and go down through to well, I can't see it on my screen, sorry. Let me try that again. There we go. It's slightly off your screen, but I'm going to click on October 31. It's slightly just off to the bottom of where you can see, but trust me, I'm clicking on it, right? And there is the combined risk graph of both trades, right? Which again is not what we want, so I'm going to uncheck these guys here. What we do want to do is to compare one expiration line to the other. So we'll now click on these guys, and there's the expiration, the cyan line now is the expiration line of my 10 delta put credit spread. If I click on the other guy, this is the expiration line of the 20 delta put credit spread. And this is exactly how you're now comparing one expiration line to the other, right? So you can see on the 20 delta, I'm getting more credit and there's less downside risk in Reg T. And then on the 10 delta, I'm getting less credit and there's a little bit more downside risk here as well, right? But it's further away, so the chances of it succeeding as a trade are higher, right? So that's what you would expect. But this is just, again, a way to get that. And in the instance that you're looking to potentially combine multiple layers, one on top of the other, then you can check them. And then you can see here what the purple line is going to show you is if you were to select both adjustments at the same time and how that would essentially combine. All right, so hopefully that makes it clear. Feel free to play with it. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And remember, by the way, that when you've done this, you have changed this date. So remember, if you want to revert through to normal, what you have to do is click on this guy, say reset parameters and date. That's going to reset back to that, which is t+0. And if you want to reset this to the way you normally see it, go to line single, expiration, one expiration, and then you're back to where you started. But of course, now this column is grayed out. All right, any questions, let me know. Talk to you later.